Good morning. This is White Raptor News Ministries. All praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit of Truth, the Living One. We're at a 7:36 a.m. call. Got to go to work again this morning to make a little bit of extra money. You know, this world is flipped upside down, and the world has been turned over to the hands of the wicked, as it tells us in Job chapter 9 verse 24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He blindfolds its judges. If it is not he, then who is it? If it is not he, who? If it is not the supreme creator, the Spirit of Truth, then who is it? Well, no one has the ability to give authority to anyone other than the supreme creator. He's the one that ordains all things, the Spirit. Well, that's a problem for Jesus Christ's worshipers, because it says, then Jesus came to them and said, all authority in heaven and earth has been given to me. Hold on. If all authority in heaven and earth has been given to Jesus, and Jesus is a God of love and goodness and warmth and kindness, and he's not of pain and grief and sorrow, then why does it tell us that the earth is given into the hands of the wicked? Who blindfolds the judges? The Spirit. And why are the judges blindfolded? Why do they wear scales on their eyes? If it is not he, the Supreme Spirit, then who is it? Well, the Supreme Spirit ordains all things in heaven. And then Jesus came to them and said, all authority in heaven and earth is given to me. Well, folks, that's kind of a contradiction. Sorry to bust your bubble. All this I will give you, Satan said to Jesus, he says, if you will fall down and worship me. If you will fall down and worship Jesus, I gotta admit that this guy here is pretty damn funny. He puts on some funny ass videos. I hope you find as much in the humor of this as I do. Mind you that this is Christians claim that Jesus is God. Israel claims that Yahweh is God, or Yahushua. So let's take a listen.
And after they do that, a tiny new human will grow inside the woman's body for 9 months, and then it will come out and start its own life.
What, come out the same hole as the man put his,
Yes.
That whole system is an amazing idea. Two people come together in an act of love and create a new life. That's just great, man.
Oh, look, Lucifer, it's nice of you to say that, but why won't you,
What?
well, worship me? Just a little bit.
Oh, not this again. Look, you designed me with free will.
Yeah, but you don't have to keep using it. You know how much I want worship.
Get over it, man.
You never obey me. You never thank me for existing. You never sing songs about my inherent properties.
Calm down, man. Calm down. Those humans will worship you, don't you think?
Well, they bloody well better. I mean, yes. When they notice the incredibly intelligent things in my design, they won't possibly miss seeing my hand in it all and how incredible I am, so I guess
Oh, yeah? Like what? Tell me.
Well, one thing is that I designed their bodies to only be able to survive in a watery environment rich in oxygen, right?
Yeah?
And I'm so wise that I'm actually going to provide an environment with water and oxygen for them to live in.
Huh?
Yeah, it's pretty much the best piece of evidence for my existence that I'm actually going to leave them. Or how about this? See, their bodies are specifically designed to constantly need fuel, right? In the form of food, or else they'll die. And I'm going to provide some of them with adequate food some of the time.
And you think they'll worship you for that?
Of course. The ones who don't starve or freeze to death will.
Yeah, well, if you design them gullible enough, they'll worship you for that, I suppose.
What do you mean?
Oh, never mind. But look here, who would you rather have worship you, them or me?
Why do I suddenly get the feeling you're trying to trick me?
Well, look, I won't lie. I want to screw around with your design. And if you
No
let
way.
me...
I need them to realize they're intelligently designed, because pretty much the only other indication of my existence is going to be a weird book full of fallacies and contradictions. So I can't afford to have my designs messed up. They have to be spot on.
Oh, come on. I know how much you want me to worship you. if you let me mess around with your design just a little bit, I'll give you some praise and adoration.
Oh, you will? Oh, what do you want to do to them?
Well, this very clever reproductive system you've come up with. Instead of the man making 1 sperm cell per month like you designed, I want him to make 100 sperm cells per month.
What? 100 potential babies a month? It's a bit excessive, isn't it?
Yeah, I told you, I want to mess around with your design, make it a bit unintelligent.
But I've designed them to make 1 sperm per month in perfect harmony with the women's bodies.
Yeah, but I'll beg and grovel to you on my knees for a while if you let me do it. Ooh, you like that, eh? Wait, I want to raise it to 1,000 sperm cells per month.
What? No!
And I'll beg and grovel, plus I'll sing a song about you existing.
Oh, I love being reminded that I exist.
Hey, I've got an idea. Let's play poker for it.
Poker?
Yeah, Texas Hold'em. You're playing for my worship, and I'm playing to be allowed to mess around with your design of the human reproductive system.
Okay, shuffle up and deal.
So the blinds are in. 1,000 sperm cells per month from you, and begging and groveling plus a song from me.
Right, let's go.
Okay, your action.
I check.
I'm gonna bet. I want to put a flap of skin over the end of the man's appendage.
But I don't want there to be a flap of skin over the end of his thing. I mean, I really don't want there to be a flap of skin over the end of his thing. That sounds abominable.
I know you don't. That's why I want it. You can just fold if you want to quit.
Oh, I can't imagine anything as ungodly as a disgusting, deplorable, offensive piece of skin covering the end of
But if you win, I'll say nice things about your name and your word.
Ooh, like what?
I'll say that it's hallowed.
Oh, I'd love for my name to be hallowed. I'll call, but only if I'm allowed to order them to chop off this horrible piece of skin later on if you win.
So if I win, you're going to design them with this piece of skin and then order them to cut it off. And still want to be considered an intelligent designer. That's hilarious. I call.
Oh, shut up. Just turn over the cards so I can beat you. Okay, my turn?
Yep.
Right. I want a performance of Our God is an Awesome God.
Ooh, big bet. You must be confident, eh? But I re-raise you. You can have that, but if I win, I want men making 1,000 sperm per day.
That's insane. They'd need 2 testicles instead of 1.
Well, that's my bet. Call or fold. And if you win, I'll kill a goat for you.
Oh, really? I re-raise.
Ooh.
After you kill the goat, you have to splash its blood around and then burn it.
Okay then, I'll see that and I'll re-raise. If I win, you have to make human bodies capable of sexual reproduction by around 13 or 14 years of age.
You want kids going around capable of making babies? That is so obviously unintelligent. I designed them to reach sexual maturity around 25 years old, when they're mature and intelligent enough to be responsible for raising children.
No, wait, I want more. Sexually mature in their early teens and 10,000 sperm a day.
10,000 per day? The testicles will run too hot. It's physically impossible.
Well, that's my bet. If you want the worship, you'll have to design that in somehow. Either call or fold.
I'd have to actually put them outside the body somehow to keep them cool enough.
Okay, if I win, they have to dangle outside the body in an ugly, hairy bag made from chicken skin.
That would look terrible.
But if you win, when I talk to you, instead of saying the word you, I'll say thee and thou.
Oh, that's just exactly what I want people to do. It's just so meaningful and appropriate.
Yeah, and I'll use words like beseech and unto.
Oh, how about shalt?
Yeah, I'll say shalt too.
Okay, I call. Next card. Yeah, look, I don't think you can beat me from here. So I bet hours and hours of the cheesiest, happy-clappy worship songs you can imagine.
Raise. Bump it up to 100,000 sperm a day just to make it more interesting.
What are you, mental? That will cause all this sexual energy in their bodies. Men might want to have sex like practically every day.
Imagine that.
Men might be left with a stronger sex drive than women. Why would I design that kind of imbalance?
Well, you better make sure you win the hand. Now, do you want me to worship you or not?
Yes. Yes, I call. Come on, let's see the last card. Come on, this is it. Okay, I check. Now keep it friendly.
I bet 1 million sperm per day. But if you win, everything about the natural world that isn't understood by unbiased scientific observation and analysis, I'll credit to you.
Re-raise. I want you to sing songs about me conquering death.
Hold on, didn't you invent death?
Well, yeah, in a kind of backdoor way, so as to not be directly responsible for it, yeah.
What, you're going to invent it and then conquer it?
Yes.
Gee, that'll be impressive. Re-raise. 10 million sperm per day, and you have to make sex a sin.
But I'm a god of love, and sex is the ultimate act of love between people. Why would I make sex a sin? I intend for people to use the sexual act as a way of coming together, of sharing and expressing
Yeah,
love.
and you have to make it a sin, or else you can just fold and I'll win.
But what are people going to think of me if I sanction war after 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 war, and then tell them that they're not allowed to express love? I'm not going to make any friggin' sense as a god of love at all. Look, I'll only call if they're allowed to each choose one person that they can have sex with without it being a sin.
Okay, yeah, that'll be funny. All the men are walking around making 10 million sperm a day and busting for an opportunity to be relieved of them all, but they're only allowed to do it with one person for their whole life. That'll drive some of them crazy.
I wanted sex to be a free and open expression of love with as many people as you wanted to.
But first I'm re-raising it to 50 million sperm a day.
50 million sperm a day, and it's a sin to spread it around. I'm an intelligent designer, not a friggin' sadist. And teenagers. You want teenagers trying to figure life out full of 50 million sperm a day. Not to mention with disgusting skin on the end of their things and ugly bags dangling around with... Oh, this is a friggin' nightmare scenario.
Oh, come on, quit your whining. Do you call or fold?
Well, I call. But only because I'm sure I've got you anyway. Like, what am I worried about? Your ridiculous plans don't even matter, because I win. Here it is. Top pair. I am the king of kings. On your knees.
Sorry, buddy. Huh? 3 of a kind beats a pair. 6, 6, 6.
Wow. 666. Who saw that coming? Any of you? Did any of you see that coming? I teach 666, and I didn't even see that coming when I watched this the other night. I couldn't stop laughing. It was pretty damn funny. You see, I think that atheists, they have a lot of good points outside of not believing that there's no God exists. They want to argue with you that there's no special design, that everything that came into existence from a pool of soup, and that we just evolved. No, and absolutely intelligent design exists. All right. So then Jesus came to them and said, all authority in heaven and on earth has been given. Hold on. Jesus, the Father, and Holy Spirit are one. They're all the same, but yet the Father has given authority to Jesus on earth. Kind of doesn't make much sense. Satan says, all this I will give you if you will fall down and worship me. Didn't that just show that Yahweh, or whoever this is that's supposed to be talking, in this case, maybe possibly Jesus is what Christians will tell you, that Jesus is God. Away from me, Satan, Jesus declares, for it is written, worship the Lord your God and serve him only. Worship the Lord, Yahweh, your God, Elohim, and serve him only. Luke chapter 4, verse 8, Bible Hub. This is called confirmation. But Jesus answered, it is written, worship the Lord your God and serve him only. Then the devil led him to Jerusalem and set him on the pinnacle of the temple. If you are the Son of God, he said, throw yourself down from here. Your angels will grab you and save you, and not one bone shall be broken. And then he goes on to say, well, thou dost not tempt the Lord. So, all this I will give you, he says, if you will just fall down and worship me. Okay, the order of resurrection. But to each in his own turn, Christ, the first fruits, firstborn, first fruits, then at his coming, those who belong to him. Then the end will come. The end will come when he hands over the kingdom to God, the Father, after he has destroyed all dominion, authority, and power. So Christ, Jesus, is going to destroy all dominion, authority, and power. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12, Bible Hub. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12, Bible Hub. For our struggles is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of the world's darkness. Well, who's in power? Jesus tells you right here. He's the one. Then Jesus came to them and said, all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Wait, I thought that Satan had all power and authority. I thought that this world was turned over to the hands of the wicked. Then the end will come when he hands over the kingdom to God and the Father after he has destroyed all dominion, authority, and power. For our struggles is not against the flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers. It's called precept upon precept, folks. Do not assume that I've come to bring peace to the earth, Jesus says. I've not come to bring peace, but the sword. Can Christians explain to me why Jesus is called the Prince of Peace if he's coming with the sword? He's coming to destroy all dominions and power and principalities on the earth. Kind of doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Well, this is why he held in his right hand 7 stars, and a sharp, double-edged sword came from his mouth. Okay, well, we all know that a sword can't come from somebody's mouth. I mean, there are sword swallowers, right? But they're talking about a double-edged sword that comes from his mouth. Okay, you can't regurgitate a sword from your mouth. Yes or no? Can you? Yes or no? No, you can't. So this is a hidden parable. It's trying to tell you something. That the double-edged sword, if you take the S off of swords and you put it on the end of word, you have words. And the sharp double-edged words came from his mouth because Jesus speaks riddles and parables. He often contradicts himself. John chapter 5, verse 31, Bible Hub. Jesus is speaking right here and says, I can do nothing by myself. I judge only as I hear, and my judgment is just. But I do not seek my own will, but the will of him who sent me. Jesus was sent. Listen, folks, you can't. Jesus sent himself, huh? Yeah. If I testify about myself, my testimony is not valid, says Jesus. So, John chapter 8, verse 14, Bible Hub. So the Pharisees said to him, you're testifying about yourself. Your testimony is not valid. Well, Jesus just said so. He said it right here. My testimony is not valid if I testify about myself. Wow, now we got a serious problem here. Jesus replied, even if I testify about myself, my testimony is valid because I know where I've come from and where I'm going. But you Christians, you dirty dogs, don't know where Jesus came from or where he's going. Why don't you guys know where Jesus came from or where he's going? Christians, you judge according to the flesh. I judge no one. Jesus just said he judges no one. Wait. I can do nothing myself. I judge only as I hear. So which is it? Does Jesus judge or doesn't he judge? And my judgment is just because I do not seek my own will, but the will of him who sent me. If I testify about myself, my testimony is not valid. He held in his right hand 7 stars and a sharp double-edged sword. His sharp double-edged words came from his mouth. His face was like the sun shining at its brightest. When I saw him, I fell at his feet like a dead man, but he placed his right hand on me and said, do not be afraid, for I am the first and the last. Let's go ahead and continue reading on that. the living one. I was dead, and behold, now I am alive and forever and ever, and I hold the keys to death and Hades. Jesus holds the keys to death and Hades. There's your key. It's a cross. I've been telling people that the key to death and Hades is the cross. When you hang a cross around your neck, you are eternally chained to this realm. Not only that, Jesus is holding a key. Holding a key is 666. Kaboom. Kabang. Kaslam. Nobody tells it better. The earth was given into the hands of the wicked. He blindfolds its judges. Who blindfolds the judges? Jesus? Yahweh? Yahushua? Who is it that blindfolds its judges? If it is not he, who? Then who is it? Pulled all these scriptures up for you guys last night. I will give you authority over all these kingdoms and all the glory, he said, for it has been relinquished to me, and I can give it to anyone I wish. So if you worship me, it will be yours. This is Satan tempting Jesus. Satan the Father, Jesus' Father. And I'm offering you all a great big deal here. Whoever can point out to me one parable in this Bible, just one, that's where Jesus is speaking and he says, the Father and I and the Holy Spirit are one. Show me one parable. Anybody, anywhere, anytime, show me one parable. And I will send you $1,000. You put it right down there. You go to my Gmail. Here we go. Highway 666. You go to my Gmail. On my page right here, you view my email address, which is whiteraptornewsministries.com. Go to my Gmail. Leave me a comment in my Gmail. Show me the parable. Show me the book. And if you can show me anywhere in the Bible where Jesus says that I and the Father and the Holy Spirit are one, I will send you $1,000. And I'm not just saying that. I will. You know why I can make such a claim? Because I absolutely know that nowhere in the Bible does Jesus ever say to anybody that I, the Father, and the Holy Spirit are one. He only says the Father and I are one. There's this woman who come over to my page, and I've been very patient and kind and tender to her until last night, because it was like she was purposely trying to provoke me. You know, folks, listen, the letter J only came into existence 500 years ago. So can all of you Christians tell me what they called Jesus before the letter J came into existence? Before they added it to the dictionary? To the language? What did they call Jesus back 500 years ago before you guys decided, hey, we're going to translate Yeshua or Yehoshua or Yahushai, we're going to translate that into Jesus. Why wouldn't you just call him Yeshua? Why wouldn't you call him Yahushai? Why? Why is the name changed? Because you guys have changed this. You've changed this. A black man. And mind you, look, Jesus was never hung on a cross, folks. They even tell you in your own book right here, Christ redeemed us from the curses of the law by becoming a curse for us. Jesus became a curse for you guys. For it is written, cursed is everyone who is hung on a tree. Jesus, or I should say Yahushai, was hung from a tree. So what you guys have done here is you've taken a black man that was hung from a tree. First of all, you put him on a cross. And then you took the black man that was hung from a tree, and then you turned him into a white man, or a very, very light-skinned man. And let's take a look here. Maybe enlarge it a little bit here. Didn't look like it enlarged too much. Well, if you look real close, you can see that he's standing on a foot pedal right here, and that we have spikes that have been ran through Jesus's feet. Okay? Spikes ran through his feet. Psalms chapter 34:20, Bible Hub. Okay. See. He protects all his bones, not one will be broken. Might be 134. No, 34:20, Psalms 120. Well, didn't I say Psalms 34:20? I thought I did. Psalms 34:20. Oh yeah, righteous person may have many troubles, but the Lord delivers him from them all. He protects all his bones. So the Lord, who's Yahweh here, delivers him from them all. The Yahweh protects all his bones. Not one of them will be broken. Now, even my sister, the one sister that I get along with, I told her, how did they drive those spikes? And it's the same thing from Christians. Well, they had crucifixions down so good back then that they could put them up on a cross and drive them stakes right through their hands and feet and without breaking one little bone. It's horrifying what the sleepers will say. Because why? Because the scales have been placed over your eyes. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He blindfolds its judges. You have blindfolds on. You have scales over your eyes. So I listened to a few. Listen, I enjoy some content that Christians put on. All right? But it's like I said, look, the letter J was only created 500 years ago. And there was a different name used for Jesus. And another kicker for me here. Behold, the virgin will be with child and will give birth to a son, and they will call him Emmanuel, which means God is with us. So the big question to ask yourself is, if the angel came to Joseph and said that you will have a son, and when the son is born that you will call him Emmanuel, then why is everybody on this plane of existence calling him the birth of Jesus? Wouldn't it be the birth of Emmanuel? No sense at all. Complete, baffled, blinded, scaleful minds, all covered over your eyes. Again, the contradiction here, Christ redeems us from the curse of the law by becoming a curse for us. So Christ is a curse. For it is, and for some reason, I don't know why. Well, probably because the scales are thick on your eyes. You can't read that and understand that Christ is a curse. Christ is a curse. Say it. So this woman here comes in my room and I'm trying to explain to her that, look, that's not even the proper name. And look, here, Numbers chapter 23, verse 19, Bible Hub. God is not a man that he should lie, or the son of man. God is not Abraham. God is not Isaac. God is not Jacob. God is not Jesus. Okay, that he should lie or change his mind. Does he speak and not act? Does he promise and not fulfill? You've got to understand that the Spirit has to, in order to teach us good from evil, he had to be both good and evil. But the Supreme Spirit, the living, separated himself from something that was of the dead. A dead part of himself, which he alienated from himself, which he wants no part to do with. But yet he gave himself power. He's one God. Of course he's got to give himself power. I know it's a difficult thing for you all to understand. So little Miss Tootsie's here. she's come into my room and she posted a video or comment on my community tabs. And we went back and forth last night between the two of us, well over 30 comments between the two of us. And the thing is this comment is freaking a month old. I never even saw the comment. And then all of a sudden, I see this comment. So, and it was a long one, and I read it all. Not only did I read it all, I read it a couple times, because when you start using scriptures and stuff for me, I got to counter with scriptures. That's the way I roll. I don't talk conjecture. You lay a scripture down. So she kept laying scriptures down. You know, she's telling me how wonderful the gospel is, how beautiful it is. And I'm telling you guys that the gospel is a ghost spell. So she's attacking Jehovah and saying that he's the devil. Jehovah is the devil. Well, Jehovah is the same name as frickin' Jesus, man. It's just changed. That's how silly these people are. Because the Lord is Yahweh and God is Elohim, as I have shown my audience time and time again. That's my comment. You see what she's doing? She's writing parts of my comment, and then she's saying, then the devil leaveth him, Jesus, and behold, angels came and ministered unto Jesus. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. Jesus is God, and he has to have angels come and minister to him? Do you see the foolery in what these Christians, that they are so blind? They write down parables and show them in my room, and they don't have a clue what's being said. So I kind of, because she kept saying to me, Jesus, 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 and I kept telling her, look, it's not the proper name. The J didn't exist. The name Jesus has only been around for 500 years. What did they call him before he became Jesus? That's the name you should be calling him. Oh, no, but she made it very clear. Oh, Jesus, love Jesus. Jesus bless us. Jesus this, Jesus that. Oh, Jesus is great. Jesus is the comforter. She kept shoving that name, and I became quite offended. You don't get to come on when I'm trying to teach you guys that Jesus is 666. Revelations chapter 22:13 Bible Hub. I am the Alpha, the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet, and the Omega, the last letter of the Greek alphabet. That tells you that the languages have been intertwined with one another. I am the first fruits, the firstborn. Jesus is the firstborn. He is the last supper. Jesus tells you he is the beginning. What is the beginning? The beginning is Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God. God is God. God is a guide. And it is not the supreme creator. The God that created this plane of existence, the material world, is not the supreme creator. This is why the supreme spirit of truth, the living one, wants us to worship him in spirit. He wants us to worship the spirit. It's that simple. Jesus is the beginning. What is the beginning? The beginning is time. What is time? 60 seconds, 60 minutes, 24 hours, 2 + 4 is 6. That is 666. John 1:1, Bible Hub. In the beginning, Jesus is the beginning, was the Word. And the Word was with God, and the Word was God. When you add the sum of the Word, it comes to 60. 6 + 0 is 6, and the word said 3 times is 666. So I get called a sorcerer for this. I get called a devil, a witch, a sorcerer, a warlock. I get called all kinds of things because Christians refuse to hear Revelations 13:18 Bible Hub. I mean, this is your book, Christians. You can't use your book against me. I know your book too well, man. Here's a call for wisdom. Let the one with insight calculate the number of the beast, for it's the number of a man. The beast is a man. Beast is a man. Okay? And that man's number is 666. Jesus is holding a key. Jesus is holding a key. 666. Before it was Jesus, before it was Christ, it was Christos. Christos is 666. If I don't care what anybody says, if I'm going to fry in hell because I've exposed this riddle, then so be it. If the Supreme Spirit of Truth wishes to cast me in the eternal fire, there isn't anything that I can say or do. Okay? Not only is Christos 666, but look here, 430. What is 430 in the Strong's Concordance? Strong's Concordance 430. Elohim. Elohim. What is Elohim? Here we are. In the beginning, God. Elohim. Christos. 666. Hebrew. 430. Elohim. Christos. Listen. This Bible, the New Testament, is just that. It's a New Testament, folks. All right? God don't change. Okay? There's a difference between a New Testament and a New Covenant. All right? If God doesn't change, then why was the priesthood changed, huh? Hebrews chapter 7, verse 12, Bible Hub. For when the priesthood is changed, wait. I don't change. Malachi 3:6, because I, the Lord, do not change. Yahweh does not change. Yehoshua doesn't change. Jehovah doesn't change. Jesus says that he's the same today and tomorrow and forever. That's not supposed to change. So when you come here, for when the priesthood is changed, the law must be changed as well. So when the New Testament was written, the law was changed as well. And the Lord doesn't change. I got to get off to work, guys. I hope you have a pleasant day. All praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit of Truth, the living one. Remember, folks, this is a spiritual battle that's taking place. Okay? I don't mind people coming in and sharing scriptures with me. I don't mind people trying to convert me back to Christianity and stuff. But I got news for you that Jesus isn't God's name. All right? You shall not invoke the names of other gods. Pay close attention to everything I said to you. You must not invoke the names of other gods or have them heard on your lips. So when you change the name Yahawashai or Yeshua or Yahweh to Jesus, that is a mistranslation to the name. Okay? So, I would tell you guys, go to my community tab and read all this. This is something that she came across, and she's telling you that Jehovah, Yahweh, Yah, spelt with a J, Yah, Yahweh, etc., all names, that they're all the same, and that they are the devil. Go and read this, folks. And then, after you read it, go over to our page, because this is a syrup. I told her that she's as syrupy as molasses syrup. And molasses syrup is poison, folks. Why? Because sugar is poison. Look, hospitals aren't built off the backbones of healthy patients no more than casinos are built off the backbone of winners. It doesn't work that way. This plane of existence needs people sick. This is a slave world. Okay? You're born into a slave world. All you're required to do in the spiritual world is give praise to the supreme spirit of truth, the omnipotent force that moves all things in place and ordains all power and authority. The supreme spirit is the one that ordains all power and authority. Nothing else. So if I'm graced with salvation, and seriously, folks, I don't know that I'll be blessed with salvation. I know that the Bible tells us that no Gentile will inherit the kingdom of heaven. They're only capable of inheriting a new heaven on earth. Well, that's turned into the hands of the wicked. I don't know that I'd even want to inherit a new kingdom of heaven on earth, because isn't this plane of existence hell? In order for that to happen, then this place has to burn up and fry and everything that is in it. The air has to be scorched. The waters have to be burned. Everything has to be cleaned. I mean, our oceans are... Look, this is a teenage wasteland, folks. We live in a wasteland, folks. Can't be any clearer, all right? This place is a shithole. A wasteland. Do you suppose in the spiritual world, something outside this plane of existence, that God's sitting on a toilet bowl taking a dump? Huh? Do you suppose in the spiritual world that they're up there fornicating with one another? Listen, folks, I love the omnipotent force, the supreme creator, the spirit which moves all things in place. I refuse today to call the creator by any kind of name at all. All right, this shithole we live on is a wasteland. They've been telling us forever that it's a wasteland. The music industry is exposing the truth, and you guys are sitting here singing to the lyrics of these songs. She is a wasteland. They're all wasted. All right? Keep worshiping that false name and invoking names next to the Supreme Spirit, and you will be wasted. This is White Raptor News Ministries.